welcome back to my channel. So to get started with this look, the first thing I'm going to do, as always, is put masking tape underneath my eyes. And then for this look, I'm going to be using two different palettes. I'll be using Huda Beauty's Rose Gold palette and Fenty Beauty's palette. The first shade I'm using is Sandalwood from Huda Beauty's palette, and I'm going to be using a blending brush and using this shade on my crease. Next, I'm going to go in with the shade Black Truffle, and I'm using a detailed shader, and on my crease, carefully, I'm going to be defining my crease line. So because it's black and it can get messy, I'm slowly going in and just defining my crease, then using a bigger blending brush, and this one's round and tapered. I am just blending that black out. And to give it a smooth transition, I'm going to go back in with my bigger blending brush that I originally used that had the shade Sandalwood and just going right over it, blending that black out. And really lightening it up because I don't want it to be too dark. Next, I'm going to go in with Kat Von D's concealer, and I'll be using a flat liner brush. And I'm going to use this concealer on my lid. And this is kind of as a replacement for my shadow primer. I'm using concealer because I'm going to go over on top with glitter. And this just makes the glitter pop so much more and makes the glitter last longer and stays really well. So that's why I'm using concealer instead of primer. And I'm just using a brush so I can define the line on my crease, and it looks a lot smoother. It gives a clean finish. And I do this step very slowly and carefully. I don't want to get concealer all over the place. I take my time with it just to make sure it's clean. I'm not going to mess up my black that's on my crease. And then I'm going to go in with the blender just on top, cleaning it up, just giving it a smooth transition again. I'm very big on making sure everything is blended well. Next, I'm going to go in with the color 24K, and I am using my fingers for this. And where I applied the concealer right on top on my lid, I'm going to dab down this gold shimmery sparkle color. And the creamy glittery colors in Huda's palette, you're supposed to use your fingers. It doesn't work as well with a brush, so that's also why I'm using my fingers. But I am switching over to a brush, and I'm using the same flat liner brush as I did for the concealer. And I'm using a brush so I can get that crisp, clean line, just like I did with the concealer, because I wouldn't be able to achieve that same thing with my fingers. So that's why I'm using a brush for this step, and so I can get every single corner, make sure it's clean, and you don't see any concealer. This next step is just extra. I really wanted to try out the Fenty Beauty palette that I bought. So right on top, I'm going over it, over Huda Beauty's glitter that I used with another shade from Fenty Beauty's palette. You don't have to do this. I did it just to get it more sparkly. And I really liked the shade of this gold. It was like a goldish black. The color is called Light Year, and this is such a pretty palette. I love all the glitters. For my top liner, I'm going in with an angled liner brush, and I am using Bobbi Brown's black gel liner for this. And then if you want to go extra, you can make your wing go all the way out and up and flare it. I wanted it to be a little bit more simple, so I didn't make it as long. But feel free to do that. I think it would be a lot of fun if you did. And then just making sure I am putting liner in my inner corner of my eyes as well. For my waterline, I'm using Marc Jacobs black liner and just putting this inside on my waterline. Next, in Fenty Beauty's palette, I'm going in with Midnight Bolt for my lower lash line. And I'm going to go in with an angled liner brush with the same color, and I'm going to create a second wing right below my black wing that I've created with this blue. For my face, I'm using Makeup Forever's Ultra HD Foundation, and I am using a beauty blender. Then for under my eyes, I'm using the same concealer I did for my eyes. I am using Kat Von D's concealer, and then going to use my beauty blender to blend it out. Then right on top, I'm going to use Laura Mercier's setting powder and use a brush to set it down. I use very little because I don't like to bake, so that's why I'm going to wipe away that powder right away. Next, I'm going to be using Tarte's Pro Glow palette and using that bronzer on the bottom right-hand corner. And I'm going to use a contour brush and use this color from the corner of my ears down to the corner of my lips on both sides. Then I'll use this on my jawline and the side of my nose and around my face. For my blush, I'm using Tarte's Color Wheel and using a blush brush. Then right on top, I'm going to go in with my highlighter, and I'm using MAC's highlighter in the color Show Gold. This is hands down one of my favorite highlighters. Ever since I got my hands on it, I have not stopped using it. So I'm going to apply it right on top of my blush, and then on my nose, my forehead, and on top of my lips. For my mascara, I'm using Lash Domination by BareMinerals, and just applying this on, but I will be putting on false lashes on top. For my lips, I'm using KissMe's lipstick subscription and then YSL's glitter gloss. The colors for both of them are, for the KissMe, it's Teddy Bear, and then for the YSL, it's the Golden Gloss in shade number 1. And then right on top, I'm going to go in with Huda Beauty's palette, and the 24K, I am going to use my fingers and then dab it on right on top. And just defining it with a pencil brush. And that completes my look.